there, I'm Elle. I'm the author of the blog Enlivening Elle. I'm a yoga teacher and I'm currently studying an MSc in nutrition. One thing I'm really passionate about is sustainable eating, and one of my favourite ways to cook a bit more sustainably is to incorporate pulses and legumes into my food. So pulses, legumes that incorporate your things like your lentils, your peas, any of the beans that you'll get tinned up in your cupboards. And today we're going to be making a squash and lentil soup. So squash is such a lovely autumnal soup. You can use either butternut squash, any kind of pumpkin or fancy squash that you happen to find at your market. And the reason why I've started adding lentils to my squash soup is it adds a little bit of plant-based protein, a bit of fibre, and also just creates a little bit more depth and interesting flavour into your meal. So they work beautifully together. For my flavours, I've got a little bit South Indian inspired. We've got mustard using powder today. You can also use say Dijon or whole grain mustard. Got a little bit of lime for some zing, and we're also going for a nice bit of creamy coconut just to bring it all together. So it's going to feel like a really gorgeous, quite hearty soup for cold days. I've already roasted my butternut squash for today, so just chop it in half, take out any seeds and roast it for around 40 minutes or so, or a bit longer if you're using a bigger squash, at about 180 degrees. So that I've got ahead of time, and then we're now just going to cook up the lentils. So first things first, I'm just going to give my lentils a bit of a rinse before I boil them up. I've got about half a cup or so of lentils there. I have to admit I do tend to eyeball things, but this should hopefully create a good couple of portions of soup. Going to cover these lentils over with some water. You can actually see it's still a little bit cloudy, so I could arguably rinse it for a little bit longer, but I think we're going to be okay for today. So that should be about enough water. And red lentils cook pretty much the quickest, so you only need sort of 15 minutes or so until they're nice and soft. That should about do. And the good thing is, because we're all doing this in a soup, if you put a little bit too much water in here, doesn't matter, because it's just all going to get added together anyway with extra stock added straight into the same pot. So you do need to be prepared to get a little bit messy with this one. Oops. Doing a one-pot version of this soup, which means I'm just going to stick everything straight into here, spices included. However, if you are doing this, if you've got a little bit more time or you want to use 2 pans, then you could get the spices and have them fried off. So I'm using dried garlic here, for example, so you could use fresh as well. But we're going to go nice, quick and easy here. So I've got about half a teaspoon of dried garlic. You could always add more garlic to taste. Obviously, it's quite a personal taste there. And we've got a teaspoon of cumin as well, which is just going to pop straight in there. And then a vegetable stock cube. If you've got fresh stock, even better, but stock cubes are brilliant. Also going to add that bit of coconut milk, so just go for all of it. You have the thick fatty layer on top, and then you'll have the more liquidy bit underneath unless it's particularly cold. There we go. So now that's looking all nice and smooth. I think we've got rid of any lumps. And then, because it's really thick, we're going to add a little bit more water. And then for the vinegar and the mustard. So I'm quite like having a decent bit of vinegar and mustard in here, but start off with maybe a tablespoon. You might find you want to go up to 2, depending on how much soup that you've made, and also just your flavour preferences. And then mustard, and again you can use either powdered mustard or you can get some fresh, either Dijon or whole grain, whatever you prefer. Essentially anything just to add a really nice little kick to it, a little bit of extra depth of flavour. lovely. I might actually add a little bit more vinegar. I have got my lime to go in as well, so I know that's going to add that bit of acidity as well, just to help cut through. But just start slow. If you're using stronger flavours, just take your time just to add bits in as you need. So I've probably gone for about 1.5 teaspoons of mustard powder, which is about the same that I'd added fresh as well. And then I've probably got closer to 2 tablespoons of my vinegar. And of course you can add this back onto the hob if you need a little bit of extra heat. Add some more water if you